Welcome to Let's Play Gran Turismo 3, episode 111. Alright. So, it is now time for us to get through the final event of this game, as well as also being the final championship event of this game. And ultimately, I know exactly which car it is I'm going to use. And that, of course, is this. My blue Polyphony 001. The car which I have literally been waiting pretty much since I won it to officially use it. And well, since we cannot do any tuning to this thing whatsoever except for, excuse me, an oil change, which I'm not going to do, I'm just going to get on with this. So, it is time for the final championship of this game, Formula GT. So, it says up there for race cars only, and of course we can basically use any race car we want, but of course I am using the Polyphony 001 because, well, it's the preferable choice, and it also kind of sucks somehow we only get 30 grand from winning each of these races. So, circuits we're going to are Midfield, Seattle, Grand Valley, Super Speedway, Rome, Task Course, Laguna Seca, Apricot Hill, Tokyo, and Monaco for the finale, as of which there will of course be a separate segment for that, because, well, that'll basically be the Monaco Grand Prix. And so, let's get started with what will officially be the longest championship in this game. And hopefully, if I am lucky, the first part of this championship will take me somewhere under 2 hours. Not going to change anything. Let's just do this pissing championship. So, already off to more or less the start I was expecting, in which the AI initially getting the jump on me, but I do of course manage to manoeuvre my way up into first position pretty quickly. Guess that is the benefits of having the more superior advantage around this circuit than the AI does. Considering I would imagine most of these lap times I'm going to be setting are going to be under a minute anyway. And I'm pretty sure that I will probably be dominating most of these because, well, these are basically endurance races overall. And already I had officially set my first lap time, and it was a 1 minute 2.8 basically, as of which I already take the lead early, and this is where I will probably stay for the rest of the race, because that is how much more superior I am around this circuit compared to the AI. Considering I already have a 5-second interval to the second placed car. So, already off to more or less the start I was expecting, and I just cut the corner, accidentally. Can I please stay on track? And now it is the stealth model that takes over second position up to this point, and already we've already done pretty much 2 minutes of the race and 2 laps. And I'm pretty sure that my ass is probably going to be dominating this race more or less from start to finish, as of which I'm suspecting I'll probably win 9 out of 10 races, unless I get lucky with test course, but I'm doubtless in saying that I won't be as lucky. Although, compared to that, with all the other races, I am very much just in a league of my own at the moment. No one really appears to be touching me, and of course I am very much way the fuck ahead of everyone else at this point. So, already 3 laps are down, and still 27 to go, as of which it will not take me too long to set. 27 laps is what me thinks. I'm pretty certain this will be more or less an easy win, because that's more or less what I've had to put myself through up to this point. All of these races are a different number of laps long. I'm pretty sure Monaco will clearly be the longest, which is why I am doing a separate segment for that race. And I will be calling that the Monaco Grand Prix, because that is what that race technically is. And yes, I probably will put in Formula GT Race 10, Monaco Grand Prix, just to be specific on the details. Anyways, the 001s are already extending over the 002s up to this point, so proud as it might be, the V10s are beating the V6s in terms of engine displacement, and at the moment I am just continuing to gradually extend my lead. And even though my tyres are starting to wear off up to this point, technically I'm still able to set reasonably paceable lap times. Tyres are only just starting to wear off at the moment, although we still have another 24 laps to go after this one before this first race will be over, and then once this race is over, I'm suspecting 9 out of 10 of these races will more or less be easy wins. Although, dependent on knowing if that will actually be the case or not, we will just have to wait and see. Okay, so my lap times at the moment are more or less reasonable, and oh shit! Yep, okay, I just knew that was going to happen at some point. Well, sure was a good thing I kept this thing in 4th gear before I spun round, as of which I very much knew I was going to have a spin at some point in the event before this race was over. That was inevitable. And I now pretty much have a 35-second interval to the Stealth 001, as of which I am calling that the Stealth 001 because that thing is in black. And the only black F1 car I can really think of would probably have to be the 1993 Sauber, because that's basically the only black F1 car I can really think of, unless it would account, of course, for the likes of the JPS Lotus cars, or at least most of the cars from Team Lotus, since they did of course have the sponsorship of John Player Special in black and gold. But apart from that, those are probably the only 2 black F1 cars I can really think of. And my tyres are really starting to wear off up to this point, so I think I'll go one more lap on this set of boots, and then once this lap is done, I'll just come in for a fresh set of boots. So I am starting to lose some time at the moment to the leaders, but again, I am audacious enough to go one more lap, so that I know very well my tyres will not be too worn down by the time we get to the end of this race, as of which my front tyres have really dropped off in terms of overall pace, since I cannot do any swaps to this car in any way, shape or form. Literally cannot put any upgrades on this thing whatsoever, including the tyres, unfortunately. So this is going to have to be the lap where I pit in, because I'm pretty sure my front tyres by now are probably dead. And all I'm really doing right now is just coasting, and already someone is in the pits. So this has to be the lap where I pit. I cannot go another lap on this set of tyres unless I crash, so this is going to have to be the lap where I pit in. So coming into the pits for the first time in this championship, and it's probably one thing that I'll be doing throughout this championship. And whilst I make the pit stop, I'm going to have some water, because I need it. Alright. So, had to be cautious on that final lap of the first stint, because I knew very well this would be where the AI would pit, and officially, as I would have anticipated, both of my rivals up to this point have already come into the pits, and I have a feeling it's going to be pit stops that shall win me this race as far as I know. And ultimately, I can now say that I am pretty much going to overlap the 002s before this race is over. And as long as I don't spin too many times before the end of this race, then I'm pretty sure that it will probably take me around about 30 minutes to get this race done and dusted. And it is pretty interesting on what the GT fandom page has to offer about this event, because it excuse me. Because the GT fandom page, which is in the description, as you probably know, it has some interesting info about each of these events and what F1 and IndyCar races this championship is very much reminiscent of, as which, oddly enough of course, I did read something about this first race, by pure coincidence, being similar to the Japanese Grand Prix in a way, because midfield does have a similar layout in some cases to what the Suzuka circuit has. Apricot Hill, I think that's meant to be reminiscent of Dijon, which is a former Grand Prix circuit, and I've already overlapped the V6 F1 cars, as of which they did try to wipe me out because they did not want to go that one lap down, but again, they had to concede the position. They pretty much had no chance of preventing me from overlapping them. And wait, hold on. Oh yeah, okay. Oh yeah. Yeah, don't mind me. I just remembered there is another black F1 car I just thought about, and I think it was the Arrows F1 cars I was thinking of when I was thinking about what F1 cars I've seen in black. I think Arrows technically had some black models, as far as I know. pretty sure there were some black model F1 cars with the Arrows team at the time. And also, how could I ever forget Mercedes changing from silver to black to officially show their commitments towards diversity and equality. Or at least very much a symbol of diversity and equality. Towards what exactly that team is essentially capable of. Although, at the moment of course, this season they've not necessarily been dominating 2021 as many people would have expected them to do up to this point. I mean, they may be leading the championship, sure, in terms of constructors, but in terms of Drivers' Championship at the moment, they're not doing very well. Because, well, Lewis is in second, and the only person who is really looking like will challenge him for the championship is a certain man in the indigo outfit known as Max Verstappen. And when I say indigo, I do of course mean Red Bull, who are the apparently only real challengers to the Mercs in terms of constructors at the moment. And also furthermore, I have also heard there have been issues regarding their reliability, and looks as though I am going to overlap the entire field at just after the halfway point as I continue to cut corners accidentally, because my corner entries are apparently terrible compared to the AI, and officially I am nearly a full lap ahead of the field, which is basically one thing I've been doing more or less throughout the Super License events, but up to this point, of course, I would say everything is looking okay, and I am now within the draft of the Stealth 001. Oh fuck, I got into the outside gravel. I'm also pretty sure that I'll have a few F1 cars by the time I'm done with this. Whoa, fucking hell. Excuse me. It wasn't even on the brakes. He just fucking... Yeah, he just fucking... We were just literally side by side as we went across the line. Honestly, the Stealth 001, he wasn't even on the brakes, he was just literally trying to fuck up my run through that corner. At least I think that's what he did. Although the bad news is, however, the tyres don't last very long. Although, fortunately for me at least, this isn't a long race. And because I know very well how quickly 30 laps can be set throughout this race, I am certain that I do of course have the audacity to prove that I can of course win 9 out of 10 races. Although, dependent on knowing if Test Course will officially be a race that I manage to win, that I think will probably remain a mystery. So, I haven't officially been retaken yet. Well, haven't been overtaken, of course, as the Stealth 001 now unlaps himself, but again, this is the lap where I pit. I'm pretty sure there will be similar issues occurring with him as well by the time we get down to the next lap. The AI will very much be having the same issues as myself, and this is where I shall put in, because I know for sure these tyres are fucked and they will definitely not go for another lap, as far as I know. Alright, just one pit stop left. Pretty sure that I will manage to overlap both of the 002s in this race by the time this lap is done, because they are virtually one lap down compared to where I am, because that is how much faster I am. I should not have shifted down to 4th. Oh fuck. Yep, okay. I just remembered how much grip I now have. Because I have a lot of grip. So, just getting past. Oh shit. Yep, okay. I really fucked up that entry into turn 1. And there, of course, is the leading 002 in this race, who now pits at the end of his 18th lap. I am now officially a full lap ahead of the rest of the field, and I can now start more or less going like hell once again for probably the next 7 laps. So, just 10 laps to go now. And then, once those 10 laps are complete, that shall be the end of race 1. So, here we go. And this is going to be a new best lap time, indeed it is. 53.9 seconds on this lap. Pretty sure that if a lap like that was set in real life, that would probably end up being one of the quickest laps in F1 history. I can recall. As I'm now coming up to see if I can overlap both of the 001s once again, as of which I do manage to overlap one of them. Just depends on knowing if I'm going to be able to overlap all 3 of them. And it does appear as though that will be the case. Of which tyre strategy is very much playing a part in this race, and even though I've only been doing this for like 22 minutes now, ironically I predicted this race would probably only take about 30 minutes as far as I could tell, or just under that, dependent on what my pace is like. I'm pretty sure these first 3 races will probably go by in a flash. And really had to virtually park it just to get through the corner, because that is how far on the outside I was. of that left-hander. So we still have another 4 laps to go on this stint. And just had to make an adjustment on my entry. And going up to just under 200 miles an hour as I head down that back stretch. And through here we go. Had to adjust the steering camber over to the right if I was going to avoid spinning this thing, as of which that is what I managed to do successfully. And we are now 24 laps into the race. And that is a clear indication of proving that my tyres will only be able to squeeze in another 2 laps after this one before they are pretty much scuffs once again. So tyres around this circuit, they only last 9 laps, but I'm still pretty confident in saying that I can go up to the end of the race by the time I've made my final stint. And already up to this point I have driven over 50 miles in the span of just under 25 minutes. So gonna have to be coasting on these next 2 laps just to get around this circuit, and I very much knew that was going to happen sooner or later. My tyres are almost dead once again, at least my front tyres are almost dead once again. But I do feel audacious enough to go up to the life expectancy of 9 laps before they really fall off. Because it looks like my rear tyres have still got some life left in them, even though my front ones are virtually brain dead up to this point. So coming across the line to completing lap number 26, we have just 4 laps to go. This is of course going to be a slow lap into the pits, because I'm pretty sure these tyres will not go another lap. Even if I tried, I'm pretty sure they won't. Because we can see the state of my front tyres, they are pretty much fucked. And as for my rear tyres, they probably could go for another lap, but again, I'm not prepared to risk it. Because my front tyres are pretty much fucked, and if I do not pit in this lap, then I will just be wrecking for probably the next 3 laps, which is what I do not plan on doing. Alright, final stint. And I'm pretty sure it probably won't take too long for these AI to finish this race. And all I can really do now for the final 3 laps is just basically go like hell. Which is probably what I will be doing. And oh fuck me, I knew that was going to happen sooner or later. But somehow my front wheels were on the curb. rear wheels were on the side of the track. Okay. I probably knew that was going to happen sooner or later. With the fact I'm saying that I'm on cold tyres. And I think 100 kilometers, that's around about 62 miles. Anyways, 2 laps to go. As I now begin the penultimate lap of this race. I have of course not made any changes to my settings because I'm fairly confident I don't need to, since this is just the first race. I'm basically maximum downforce on the rear wing and probably centre downforce on the front wing, because this is of course a rear steer car. And of course, all F1 cars are very much midship in terms of their engines, because they're basically in the centre of the car, but they're also in the rear of the car. Anyways, final lap, and it's taken me somewhere under 30 minutes for me to go this far into the race, in spite of the treachery I've had on each of my stints, just virtually having to coast my way for the final 2 laps of a stint. I've still managed to prosper, I've successfully persevered, I've overlapped the competition, and I'm pretty sure this will end up being the first of what will probably be 9 wins in this championship. And oh fuck me, I really fucked up my entry through that corner. But it's fine, because I emerge victorious in race 1. And let us wait for our opponents. Alright, there we go. So, basically what I did was, in that race, well, I overlapped pretty much the entire field, and it took me 29 minutes and 46 seconds to get through race 1. So, virtually half an hour. Although I'm pretty sure the other races will be longer than this one. But anyways, I start off the championship with a victory, and I am pretty sure that I will probably have 9 wins by the time this championship is done, because we will be going to task course again, as we have done so many times in this game. So, 30 grand for winning, and well, I think just because... Actually, have I saved any replays at Seattle recently? Actually, nah, I'll save my replay in Seattle, just because I want to. You know, because this is a 3-part championship for a reason, because we are going 40 laps around Seattle. Already off to more or less the sort of race start I was expecting. Made a little bit of contact there with the green and yellow 002, I think that is, back there. He has now fallen back to 4th behind one of the 002s, it looks like, but I'm pretty sure he will manage to come back and take over 3rd position, as of which I do now force my way up into 1st position, quite aggressively I might add. Yep, I got that first section of the chicanes completely wrong through there. Although it doesn't matter because I still managed to take the lead anyway at the end of lap 1. So, first lap is already complete, as of which Seattle is not one of my personal favourite circuits in this game, but again, it is at least a better circuit than Task Course. And not to mention, of course, that Seattle is in Washington, but, you know, that's by the by. Really don't have any problems with Washington at the moment. Alright, so... I am again continuing my traditional domination. Even though I am still crashing a lot at the moment, because I did not like Seattle very well. Or at least I'm not... Fuck! Or at least I'm not very accustomed to Seattle at the moment. It's not the sort of course I feel like I can, you know, make myself audacious enough to go for a flat-out lap. Especially considering how fucking easy it is to get a car loose around this circuit. Because, I mean, god damn it, this circuit is difficult. Especially if you are driving an open-wheel race car. But anyways, I'm still confident enough in saying that I can manage to hopefully get myself a quick lap in sooner or later. Even though at the moment, of course, I'm failing quite badly to do that. Because, by God, the speeds I'm turning around this fucking circuit of all places. Oh my God, I have no idea how I was able to save that. I mean, my car just got fucking airborne there. I did not think I was going to save it under those given circumstances. I might actually need to concentrate on getting a reasonable lap in, because I appear to be doing a lot of crashing at the moment. Shit. And it also doesn't help on how there are bumps around this circuit. And even though IndyCar would probably race on circuits like these, I'm doubtless in saying that F1 probably wouldn't. Well, at least I set a more reasonable lap that time than I did previously. Or at least, you know, by pure comparison. Short shifting into 6th gear as I head up the hill, because I know very well that is going to be where the trouble spot is located. And up to this point, I would say, at the moment, somehow I'm still winning, even though the laps I'm turning at the moment are proving to be terrible, as they currently stand. It's easy to see why exactly I don't consider this circuit in particular to be one of my personal favourites. Fuck my ass. I just cannot get one lap in without crashing. It's just literally like I want to wreck every lap. Except I don't really, because, well, I just keep fucking up these laps. Oh, fuck me. Really had no idea how I managed to save that. My god, that was sketchy. I would have almost won for sure. I was going to have a panic attack. Ah, for fuck's sake! God, I hate this track. I just hate having to drive race cars around this sort of track. Because by god, this is fucking dangerous right here. Whoa! Jesus. Come on, get in gear, get in gear, get in gear. Okay. Okay, so predictions on knowing if my tyres are going to last up to the end of lap 8? Probably not. So I think it's probably the wiser choice for me to pit in at probably the end of this lap, even though I will still be trying to go for an additional lap anyway. But again, yeah, okay. Okay, fuck that. My tyres are virtually fucked. Okay, my tyres are virtually fucked up to this point. Yeah, okay, my tyres are virtually fucked up to this point. There's no way in hell I can go another lap on these tyres. These tyres are virtually fucked. There's no way I can go another lap on these. No fucking way. Yep, my rear tyres were fucked, basically. There was no way I could have gone another lap on those. I had to change those. I had no choice. Really had no choice. Also, furthermore, Seattle is a very difficult course to master when you're driving an F1 car like I am. Especially if it is on worn tyres, because I've already spun twice. And also the fact on saying how bumpy this track is, it really does not help. Really does not help on how cars like these are not made to take those sorts of impacts. Because as you can even see down there, my rear tyres are already starting to cook, and it's not really, and we're not even done with the outlap yet. But again, my rear tyres were virtually fucked. There was no way I could have gone on that set of tyres. Why can I not fucking drive this circuit? Is there something wrong with my driving style or something? Or am I just literally that terrible? I knew this was going to be more challenging, but I just didn't know how much more challenging. Well, good thing I got the first race said and done with, because if I didn't, then I would have to try this all again. Okay, well, I'm starting to get my pace back. Just a matter of knowing if... Just a matter of me knowing if I'm capable enough of getting myself back up to speed. Because something is preaching at the moment, and it's literally... Oh, for fuck's sake. Why can I not keep a race car under control around the circuit? The more I complain to myself, the more I'm gonna fuck this up. Stay calm, Jordan. Try not to make it look like you're the worst driver in the world. Just try and get around the circuit the only way you know how. God, this sucks as a challenge. Even at low speeds, this thing is still a challenge. Even with maximum downforce on the rear, this thing is still a challenge to master. I guess I'm going to have to go slow speed through here, if I'm actually going to get through the corners without crashing. But there was no way on my rear tyres that I was going to go. And wow, I actually went quicker on that lap as a result of more or less going steady through those corners. Maybe I might be able to find some outright track pace after all. Even though these bumps still tend to scare me, it almost feels like I am having a panic attack when I hit those bumps. Although, oddly enough, I'm actually not sat. Although, oddly enough, up to this point, it wasn't until the last lap that I actually set a reasonable lap time around this course. So, you know, that is something worthy of being noted. Even though all I'm really trying to do at the moment is just try not to piss myself off. The challenges of this course. Okay, so not quite as good on that lap, but again, still a reasonable enough lap regardless of the circumstances that I'm having to put myself under. Considering I do have a disadvantage of myself pitting early, but again, there was no way my rear tyres were going to last another 2 laps. It was basically pitting on burst, basically, once I made that pit stop. Because I knew very well that my rear tyres were virtually fucked. There was no way I could have gone another lap on those rear tyres, even if I wanted to. Starting to fall apart once again. Even though I am trying my best to not make myself look like a failure. God, I hate this circuit. Especially if I have to go flat out in a race car that has as much acceleration as this one. I mean, fucking hell. circuit really knows how to piss me off. Just gotta hope I can survive the next lap without crashing. Although, judging by the way most of this race has gone up to this point, the crash is exactly what I'm predicting was going to happen. Example. Anyways. I could try extending it to lap 15 if I really wanted to, but again, judging by how many bumps are on this circuit, I'm pretty sure that's not going to be the case. And yet somehow I still have a 30-second lead at the moment. I guess I'll just have to try and see what the state of my tyres is on this lap. And then, if I do feel confident enough to go another lap, then I probably will. I guess it's just because I'm power sliding right through the corners, basically. I'm virtually drifting my way through the corners. So, I suppose, if I'm gentle on the tyres for the next lap, I suppose I could. See if I can try to alternate my strategy. Because I was pretty aggressive on those tyres at the first stint. I was pretty aggressive. But I am hoping I will manage to at least give myself enough of the audacity to find room for improvement on this stint. I will always be keen to find some additional lap time if that becomes the case. Even though I am having to virtually coast my way around the circuit at the moment, at least I can say on this stint I have not spun as vigorously as I did on the previous stint. Maybe if I'm smooth enough, I might be able to take it up to the end of lap 16. Although then again, it's probably not worth the risk because, well, my rear tyres are virtually fucked anyway, so I'm gonna have to do this. Really don't have any other choice. Okay. That's another lap done. At least I can say my pit box is just past at least I can say my pit box is just past the start-finish line, so under many cases I will admit that is a good thing. Let's now try and see if I can manage to find some room for improvement on this stint. Because regardless of what happens from here, there will probably still be chunks of time yet to be found. So, let's continue. Just see how far we can go on this stint. Fuck. Okay, I actually need to step on the brakes in order to get through the chicane. I cannot just... okay. I cannot just send it through that chicane. I've actually got to slow down before the chicane and then try and see if there is anything else I can do in response to that. I should have probably put this thing on maximum downforce before I came into this event, because, I mean, fucking hell. This thing is difficult to control at the moment. And I'm going to assume the reason for that is because of my driving. I'm probably driving too aggressively for the suitable purposes of this circuit. Although it does look as though up to this point in the race, I'm finally going to try and see if I can maybe overlap someone. As long as I don't keep crashing, because I have a feeling that tells me I might actually need to short shift just to get through certain parts of these corners. I cannot just wing it through certain corners. I've actually got to smooth through certain parts of this course. If I'm gonna make a promising move up to this point. I've actually got to go smoothly through these corners. And really have no idea how I was able to get through there, but somehow I did. Still think I should have put this thing on maximum downforce though, because if I would have known this was going to be the case for Seattle, then I would have probably done that already, but since I didn't, I'm just left virtually clueless at the moment into knowing how exactly I can set some reasonable laps. I am now going to overlap the 002s in this race, although it does surprise me on how these AI are able to go as quick as long as 9 laps around the circuit, whereas the most laps I'm capable of doing is 8. And I just set a 113 dead. Anyways, I think I've pretty much overlapped everyone in the race up to this point. Probably because I apparently have the best car. After the pit stop cycles have occurred. Let's see what I can manage to accomplish this time. I actually went pretty good through there. And as a result, I set a new best lap time by 10th. I'm just going to try and see if I can manage managed to successfully overlap the Stealth 001 and short shifting to 6th gear because I knew my front end was going to get airborne. I knew very well that at the moment of once I got on those bumps, my front end was going to get airborne, as well as my nose. So I figured that probably was something I needed to do. In response to what I already had in store. For the remaining parts of the race. And of course, I will probably be trying to see if I can go up to the end of the next lap before making my third pit stop, as of which I'm pretty sure I will need to make 5 pit stops in this race compared to the AI's 4 pit stops, which is exactly where I believe I'm gonna miss out on the synchronicity. Up to this point in the race. Pretty sure Gran will probably take me longer. Even though I'm pretty sure Gran will probably take me longer than this. I'm pretty sure this probably will be my best shot I have of pitting up to this point. As of which at the moment I'm going quite poorly on this set of tyres at the moment. Although I will of course be trying my hardest. Get through this race sooner rather than later. And, oh shit, I just missed the pits. Yep, I missed the pit. Only for being the insufficient Douglas. This is a slow lap that I'm doing right now. And as I would have more or less anticipated, these tyres I'm pretty sure are not going to hold on much longer. The Stealth 001 will get himself back on the lead lap by the time I've made my pit stop. Although I've gone longer on this stint than I anticipated I would. And surprisingly that had fewer consequences than the previous one did. And ultimately this is where I'm now going to put in for tyres. because remarkably I went 9 laps on that stint. And officially, the Stealth 001 has just unlocked himself. Fortunately, I do have less than a lap of a lead on the the 001 as the matter currently stands. So the black 001 will remain on the lead lap for now, but he will not be stuck on the lead lap, because he will have to pit again pretty soon, and that will of course allow me to hopefully re-overlap him, because oddly enough because as I would have anticipated, this race is taking longer than the first one did. Although, I did predict, of course, there would be long races up to this point. But I really don't know, with the amount of time I have at the moment, if I've got enough to do a third race. And considering my time slots at the moment, I really don't think it's worth the risk. So I'll probably come back and do the third race later. Or at least later on, even though you probably won't see it until I have officially uploaded it. But I think I'll probably just take more or less. Fuck. I think I'll more or less take a break after this, as I now managed to set a new best lap time of more or less a 1:12.0, even though it's not necessarily a 1:12 dead, but still a 1:12 anyway. I'm going to suspect the Stealth model is probably on scuffed tyres by now, which is probably the main reason on why I've officially overlapped him up to this point. So that is something worth noting. And of course, I'm actually going faster this time on my laps, and well, I've got things to do before 5 o'clock, so considering it is already 4 o'clock, as it says on the clock in my room at the moment, even though I'm distracting myself at the moment, even though I pretty much need all of my concentration on Seattle at the moment. That's one thing I'm not being very successful at doing at the moment. Anyways, I really don't think I'm going to have enough time to get the third race in at the present time of when I'm recording this, so I'm gonna have to come back and record the third race later on because, oddly enough, this is taking longer than I first thought it would, considering that I am nearly only just 28 laps into the race up to this point. So I'm going to have to leave once I've done this, but I will of course be coming back and recording Gran later on. Then it will mean of course that I will be off to a positive start by tomorrow. Yeah, there was no way I was going to save that. As much as I really tried to prevent that particular accident from happening, unfortunately that was unavoidable. And oddly enough, it's also taking longer than I thought it would to set 40 laps around this circuit, considering we're only 29 laps into this thing and we're nearly 2/3 of an hour into this race virtually. Why did I go into reverse? Can I please stop fucking myself? God, this race has been stressful. I mean, even though I have a laps interval over the rest of the field, the truth is, it's still been pretty stressful overall for me to just try and get the laps in that I need to get in, because I mean, fucking hell, this circuit is complicated. I mean, even at top speed, this circuit is virtually a massacre. The circuit is virtually a massacre. Almost makes me feel like I'm falling for larceny. Circuit does. Why did I shift down to third? Just trying to recollect myself and give myself enough recompense to go through with the fucking LP as it currently stands. Also, furthermore, my rear tyres are starting to wear off again. So that's basically what it's come down to. Alright, so nine laps to go. I'm pretty sure it will probably take me somewhere over 10 minutes to set those laps, because I'm already 40 minutes into this race overall. And this circuit is basically the same number of laps as the Seattle 100 miles. Although realistically that's actually not 100 miles overall, because, well, that race overall is basically 94 miles for setting I think it is fair to say this will be the lap that I hit, because I don't think these tyres are going to last much longer. Aha! I avoided the outside wall this time. And yep. Whoa! Excuse me. Fucking hell, we're getting aggressive on this stage of the race. Is it really necessary to be that aggressive? Did I seriously do anything to piss you off? Anyways. Okay. 8 laps left. I'm certain that I will have to make one more pit stop before this race is done, because these tyres are very much quick wearing tyres, as I have discovered around these particular sorts of circuits. I'm pretty sure that, judging by the amount of time I have at the moment, it's probably not necessary for me to do another race until later on when I have more time, so I know you may not be able to see this in the actual segment itself, but I think I'm going to go on an interval. And try and see if I can get on with race through later. Up to this point, astutely, this race has, of course, probably been the most stressful of them all. Even though it is a race that I've dominated, oddly enough, this is still a hugely difficult course to master at speed. Especially with the speeds I'm going at the moment. And also by the amount of troublesome mistakes I'm making at the moment. Which are really not helping to necessitate the situation. And I do feel an itch on my nose once again, but obviously I'm not going to focus on that because I need to keep my eyes on the circuit itself. Because I actually need to try and see if I can set some reasonable enough laps around this circuit. I think that's now the second time I've overlapped the 002s, and one of them just giving me a nudge. Fortunately, I did not clip the inside wall this time. And only got 4 laps to go, but again, pretty sure those 4 laps will be longer than I may think it is. Because originally when I did the endurance race, it took me nearly a full hour to get through the race itself, and I just fucked up this one. So, I think I'm going to have to put in on the next lap, because I don't think these tyres are going to be capable of going another 8 laps. Even though I could very well risk it, I've realised that the incentive choice will probably be to pit again before the end of this race, because I know very well that if I don't, I'll basically be fucked. If I do not pit before the end of this race, I will pretty much be fucked. Okay. I think I'll make this the lap that I pit, because I'm pretty sure that... Oh, fuck. Okay, I'm on this round. I am going to pit in on this lap, regardless of what the circumstances may be. And that is a tyre barrier. Can I please get at least one decent lap around this circuit? Because I think it's official to say up to this point, I hate Seattle. Especially when I have to go full speed in these things. I really do genuinely hate Seattle. Well, I'm not going to risk it. I'm going to pit in at the end of this lap. Regardless of what the costs may be. Against all odds, I'm pitting in. Don't give a shit. I just want to get to the end of this race on a reasonable set of tyres. That's all I want to do. As I continue to sip my water. Alright, just 3 laps to go. Okay, I managed to survive these 3 laps without fucking myself. Hopefully it's only taken. It looks like the Stealth 001 took a similar approach to what I took heading into the final stint. So both of the 002s up to this point are pitting in for a fresh set of tyres so they can go to the end of this race in reasonable condition, it looks like. Whoever is at the rear of the 002 pack, he is clearly not being very helpful. And I've got something on my nose. It's really annoying on how I need to do that, but yet I also have to keep my eyes on the circuit. Okay, just 2 laps to go. 2 laps remain in this shithole of a circuit. Okay, I'm gonna say it now. I hate Seattle. There you go. I said it. I officially now hate Seattle. I said before that Seattle was not one of my personal favourite circuits, but now, as a result of how much crashing I've done in this race, I can now safely say that this circuit is probably one of my least favourites in the game overall. And ironically enough, I probably dislike this circuit even more than I dislike complex string. I still can't get that final corner done right. Anyways, final lap. then it means I don't have to go through the stress of doing this race again, because I'm doing this on a recently changed set of tyres. Just to get up to the end of this race. Definitely got enough power from the motor to make this thing go the distance. I'm pretty sure this engine will get me up to the end of this race and win me 2 in a row. Considering I do have a full lap on the rest of the field. Well, 2 laps on the 002 pack, but again, I would say it's pretty much, you know, Noah's Ark for what the pack is like, because we have 3 002s in this race, and if you include myself, we also have 3 001s. And through the final corner we go, and it is a new best lap time, surprisingly. Best lap on the final lap. Let's fucking go. Alright, there we go. 2 races are down, and what I can really prove is, well, I know how to overlap the competition. Even though, for the second race running, I've overlapped the 002 class twice. As for the 001 class, well, we are very much pulling ahead of the rest of the field. So, I now have 20 points to my resume. The black 001 is second with 12 points. Then it is the green and yellow Polyphony 001 in third. We have a tie between the indigo 002 and the red 002, and at the back it is still the silver 002. Meanwhile, we are now 2 races into the championship, and this is going to be where I save my replay. And I'm also pretty... excuse me. And I'm also pretty sure that this is where my storage will probably run out. But anyways, because I'm a bit lackluster for time at the moment, I shall come back and do the 3rd race at Grand Valley later on. I shall be back soon. Alright, so I have returned to do race 3 of part 1, and then once I have done this race, that shall be the end of this segment. And so, let's now move onwards to Grand Valley for race number 3. And as of which I did of course decide to give more or less an hour's absence from this so I can come back and do this again. So anyways, up to this point in the championship, I've now already won the first 2 races, looking like I'll probably win 3, so let's give it a go and see if this one is better than Seattle. Excuse me. Already off to more or less a reasonable start, and already getting bumped to the side there by one of the 002s there, as of which I am now, closing in on the yellow and green 001. Oh, we are getting aggressive there. go. It is official time for 27 laps of Gran Valley, and I am more or less certain this will probably take about somewhere under an hour for me to complete this race. And at the moment, of course, it's currently the yellow and green 001 that's winning this race over the stealth 001. Although then again, of course, he is starting to separate himself from the rest of the pack as it currently stands. And up to this point in the championship, I have already driven 72 laps of this championship alone. Really pushing too hard at the moment, just trying to keep my car under control and just keep my driving as smooth and as consistent as it can be. Considering this race probably will be more of an easy ride than Seattle was, because I mean, Seattle for me personally, even though I did get the fastest lap on the final lap, technically, Seattle wasn't really too much of an enjoyable race for me personally. As in, like, I really didn't enjoy Seattle that much with all the crashing that I had. I mean, yeah, I did set the fastest lap on the final lap, yes, but it wasn't necessarily what I would have said was one of my more refined performances. And I think I just got the corner. Back, of course, into the forefront of what is already happening at the moment. As of which, this could be exactly what the green and yellow 001 needs to get himself back up into the fight for second position in the championship, as of which the stealth 001 already has a 4-point advantage over the green and yellow 001, so this could be the first time where he finishes second, but again, because I am basically dominating this race at the moment, the one thing I can guarantee to both of those guys is that they probably will not win the race. Unless I have some major bad luck, but again, that's one thing I'm not predicting to happen. Unless something happens to my car so suddenly that I'm pretty sure it won't, regarding the circumstances. Almost spun myself to the side, but fortunately it wasn't anything too serious. And of course, we are now up to the end of lap 4, starting lap number 5, as of which Gran Valley does have a history of being quite hard on tyres, but again, ultimately, all I can really say at the moment is, well, it would appear as though my tyres are probably going to hold on for one more lap before I need to change them. Because these tyres do look pretty good at the moment. I would say my tyres probably do have enough mileage in them to go one more lap. As the matter currently stands at the moment. So yeah, I think I'll go one more lap, and then once I've done that I'll just come in and change the tyres at the end of this lap. Which means of course that this race will more or less be a 4-stop. As of which I can tell very well this is the lap I'm going to pit. Simply because... oh shit. Simply because of that. So yeah. I think there's no question in saying this is the lap I pit. And I'm pretty sure the AI are more or less going to do the same, because they must be having similar tyre troubles to what I'm having. And try not to push too hard on this set of tyres. Of course, I do want to try and see if it is possible for me to get onto pit road, as of which that is exactly where I'm heading. So to pit road we go. As I officially begin my first of what will probably be an eventual eventual 4 pit stops. And as I correctly predicted, the AI have pitted in on the same lap as myself, and officially that means of course the running order does not change in any way, shape or form. And that essentially means of course that effectively means, of course, that what I will effectively do is probably go onwards for another 5 laps after this one. Oh shit, I just cut the corner. But, yes. I shall not let this one fail. And I would imagine it's only a matter of time before the next pit stop occurs. Once I have done that second pit stop, that should officially set what exactly this race is going to look like for the remaining 15 laps. And so, here we are. So, the completion of 8 laps. I can already safely say that I am clearly more than a bit stop ahead of the AI, and also furthermore my oil light has just turned red. Guess who was surprised? Not me. But again, I don't think this race will be quite as long as Seattle was, because, well, Seattle was basically an endurance run. And oddly enough, because of how bumpy the track surface was overall, as well as also knowing about how tricky the layout was, it was one race I actually did not like, because of how much bouncing around and crashing I did throughout that race. I mean, to those of you who do watch my videos, you probably do know me as being an accident-prone driver, but again, on the whole, on a circuit like that, I'm not necessarily the sort of person who demotes himself to that sort of racing, where I'm basically just crashing everywhere and getting caught out by pretty much every bump I run over. Yeah, I try my hardest not to wreck. Oddly enough, up to this point, I am not too far behind, too far back from overlapping the 002s. To this point. So, 36 seconds is now the interval 2. The green and yellow 001, as which I am very much just dominating this race as I would have expected myself to do. And I would say up to this point I've probably been going for somewhere over 1.5 hours by now. At least I think that's how long this segment will probably be, or somewhere over that, by the time this race is done. I mean, even though this race will be an easier ride than Seattle was, I'm pretty sure that this probably will turn out, of course, to assumingly be the easiest races I've ever driven, or one of the easiest I should say. Because that's exactly what everything this is. Right, anyways. So, starting lap 12 now, this will of course be the final lap on the second stint, because I know very well these tyres will not be able to go any further than 6 laps, as I have proven, and this time I do manage to avoid the gravel trap compared to what I had previously. So this will of course be the lap where I come into the pits, as which I am now about just over 3/4 of a minute ahead of the first of the 2 001s, which is still the yellow and green 001, as which the stealth 001 is still running in 3rd position at the moment. And all I need to do now is just head into the pits. And so here I am now for pit stop number 2. And where, oddly enough, this time I've had a much more cleaner lap than I did previously, because I actually stayed on track in spite of me pretty much doing it on dead tyres. But again, it's fine, because I am pretty sure that by the time I get to the end of this race I will have already won. I will have already won 3 out of the first 3 races. And even though the power version may only get 2 models of F1 cars compared to 6 models that the NTSC version gets, at the very least, I can say that the colours we're racing in are at least, different compared to, at least I can say the colours that we're racing in are not all the same. Although for me, of course, I am just more or less the dominator. Of this championship. So, lost a little bit of time there, but again, I'm pretty sure that I will manage to put myself in first position a lap. Sorry, I understand. This will be the lap where I officially there we are. This will of course be the lap where I hopefully managed to put the... and somehow, in spite of that final corner mistake, I still went even faster than my previous PB. Anyways. I'm now coming up to overlapping the 002s, at least the 002 class, as I would put it. And I think it's pretty much safe enough to say that I'll probably be a lap ahead of everyone else. Whoa, excuse me. Fucking hell. Yeah, that's right. You shouldn't have blocked me, idiot. Just had to step on the brakes through there. Also, I've now driven over 200 miles on this thing. Probably 207 miles by now. At least if we're talking in terms of miles from kilometers. Of course, I probably knew very well that my oil light was going to turn red anyway. Because, well, that's basically what it does. After pretty much 185, 186 miles, that's pretty much what it does. Oh, that's alright. That's not what I should have done. Oh, fuck me. Why did I go to the outside curbs? That's not what I should have done. That was a mistake. And I'm pretty sure I do not have the mileage I need. I'm also pretty sure I do not have the mileage I need. So, with just one lap to go after this one on the third stint, I should be able to make just one more pit stop after this one, and then once I've done that, that should pretty much be the rest of this race decided, basically. Even though I clearly do not have the horsepower I need to make it through the corner. Although it's not really too much of a worry, because, well, I'm basically well over a pit stop ahead of everyone else. And also, furthermore, sooner or later, I'm certain that I will put the two 001s that one lap down once I've made this pit stop. Because oddly enough, They are having similar tyre degradation issues compared to what... Similar tyre degradation issues to what I'm having at the moment. And I really cannot lie, this is going to be the lap where I shall put in. Because I am pretty sure these tyres will not go on the lap. I really don't care what anyone says. I'm putting in on this lap simply because I cannot. Simply because these tyres will not withstand. The punishment much more. Well, at least I can say my laps have been cleaner since I made that mistake in the gravel trap. So, haven't officially managed to overlap the field yet, but I'm pretty sure it will only be a matter of time before I do manage to overlap the rest of the competition, because that will inevitably happen before this race is done. Yep, I can tell when someone does not want to get overlapped. Damn it, cut the corner. That's not what I should have done. Guess I just cut the corner. Just a little bit. But again, really didn't think it was anything major. It's more or less something I would have expected from a thing that has as much grip as this one does. And already my rear tyres are starting to come close to the red zone. Really don't know what that means, but again, all I'm really doing at the moment is just more or less riding it out and trying to see if I can improve on my personal best. Even though the laps I've been producing aren't necessarily clean ones. Because I keep cutting to the grass. Oh, that's a wall. And nope, that's not going to be a new personal best. Let's see if I can try to improve on my personal best. As of which I'm hoping I can at least put in one more hot lap before this race is done, as of which there is still one pit stop left before this race is done. And yet, I don't know, because rubber banding is not really that strong, in the professional league, especially in most of the super license events, from what I can tell, or super license races I should say. Ultimately, that is the main reason why I've just been dominating as much as I have been doing. I more or less knew I was gonna win probably 9 out of 10 of these races pretty easily, considering that is what my history of this game has looked like. I'm also hopeful in saying that I will manage to at least finish above last at test course. And nope, that is not an improvement on my PB. Although somehow, in spite of me making a last lap mistake, sorry, a final corner mistake, on my fastest lap, somehow, coincidentally, it still proved to ultimately be the fastest lap of the race overall. I really don't know how I managed to achieve that. Even though I ran wide at the final corner, it was still quick enough to be a personal best. I really have no idea how that happened, essentially. Trust me, I really have pretty much no conception whatsoever on how or why exactly that happened. Just so I don't run wide at the corner this time. Yee! I also managed to go half a second quicker, as of which my new best lap time is now a 1:24.4 at the end of 22 laps, and fortunately I only have 5 laps to go. Of course, Seattle under many circumstances, it definitely felt longer than it should have been. Because it was basically the same length as the endurance event, and oddly enough, I basically drove nearly 100 miles in that event itself. And oddly enough, up to this point in the event, I would say I've probably driven more than 60 miles in this event overall. Of course, I'm willing to bet by the time this championship is done, I'm willing to bet that I've probably driven more than 700 miles by the time this championship ends. And yep, okay, these tyres are only going to withstand one more lap. And then, basically, for the final 3 laps, I can just basically run like hell. Essentially. Although, up to this point, of course, I would say this is more or less how the remaining races of the championship are going to go. Well, every remaining race except for a test course, because I'm pretty certain I will probably not win a test course, because unfortunately that is a track that exists in this championship, and realistically it's not a track that I'm ultimately fond of. But again, at least I can say Grand Valley is a better circuit for me to drive on than, is a better circuit for me to drive on than Seattle in many different ways. So pitting in for my fourth and final pit stop of the day, and then once this one is done, we can basically just go like hell for the final 3 laps. So just sipping my water as the pit stop happens, and we now have just 3 laps to go. So we can basically run like hell, which is probably what I am going to do. Although dependent on knowing if this lap will be as good as my 22nd lap was, or at least dependent on knowing if the next 2 laps will be as good as my 22nd lap was, then that probably will surprise me. Although in truth and fairness, I honestly did not think it would take me this long to officially overlap the 2 001s. I mean, this is probably the first time that I've actually felt you know, the obligatory of literally waiting this late in the race for myself to officially overlap the front runners. I mean, I've managed to overlap the entire competition in pretty much every race so far, but it does surprise me on how it's literally taken me this long to do it. Up to this point. So, we will now have just 1 lap to go after this one. And then, once that lap has been completed, we will officially have 3 of 10 races under our belts. So coming through the final corner, is this going to be a new PB? Yes it is. And it is now time for the final lap. As which the W2s have just pitted, so I am pretty sure that I could very well overlap at least one of them before this race is over. This could very well be a new personal best if I can manage to get myself a reasonable enough sector time without the back markers blocking me. Okay, a little bit forcible there, but again... shit, I took the corner. Although I don't really benefit from it too much. But I still go fastest anyway. Also furthermore, I win. So, put 2 of the cars in the 002 class 2 laps down in the end. And let's wait for everyone else. Alright, there we go. So in the end of that, the green and yellow 001 officially takes home second for the first time, ahead of the stealth 001. Then in fourth it was the silver 002 ahead of the indigo 002, and then at the back I think it was the red 002 in this race. And also, I've driven about 400 kilometers in this championship already, which I think is somewhere under 250 miles. And so those are your standings after 3 races. We still have 7 to go. But I'm confident that I will manage to get through them over the next 3 days, hopefully. But officially, that shall conclude this segment, and next time we shall be going races 4 to 6. Excuse me. So I shall see you all in part 2.